Hi, my name is Lamar Horton. I'm with the Illinois State Police, and I'm here today to talk about the Rollover Simulator. The reason why the Rollover Simulator is so important is because it helps you see what it looks like to be in a rollover crash. Granted, you would rather be away from it and not in it, but this gives you a little bird's eye view of what it looks like at the time it happens. A little experience that I've went through my own self. This would be December 24th, maybe a couple years ago. Family's driving up from another state to get to Illinois. The mother and the father, they're coming up to visit their relatives for the Christmas holiday, and I get a call out because they lose control. You've got things on the expressway that work to keep your car on the roadway. So if you lose control, you got the barrier, you got the median barrier, you got the J-wall, concrete J-wall. This particular car loses control, goes across all lanes, goes onto the right shoulder, hits the J-wall, which knocks the family back onto the roadway. They keep driving. Unfortunately, there's a 4-year-old child in the back in the third row, and this is a Ford Expedition. When they hit the J-wall that caused them to go back into the lane of traffic, it throws the child from the car through the windshield, throws the child over 80 feet from the car. They land and perish in the grass, and the family had no idea that the child was missing until they stopped to get gas when the father realized, where's my son? Now, somebody viewed that crash. Somebody was on a platform, CTA, this is in Chicago. They saw the child thrown from the car and had to run over from the platform to sit with the child in the child's last moments. Now, that's something that you won't want to see. But today, with this Rollover Simulator, we can show you and we can give you 3 scenarios that'll help you understand the importance of a seatbelt in a rollover. Right behind me, we had a Rollover Simulator. We had 3 scenarios. First scenario, no one was seatbelted, meaning the adult driver and the child passenger who's in the safety seat. The second scenario, the child was seatbelted, the adult was not seatbelted. And the third scenario, everybody was seatbelted. So to give you a bird's eye view of what I mean about a child getting ejected, in this one, when the child does not have a seatbelt on, in the safety seat, it rises the child up, almost puts the child at a perfect size to go out the window first. So you'll notice that when the Rollover Simulator gets going, the child comes out first. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to get in your car. Not only are you not going to seatbelt yourself, you're not going to seatbelt your child. But if you're a parent, because I am, it's been several times that I get in the car, first thing I do, seatbelt my son and or daughter. I sit down, get to driving, they get to playing, they get a little antsy, they take that seatbelt off, and in the midst, thank God it didn't happen with me, but in the midst of a rollover, you're not going to be able to go over and check to see if that child is seatbelted. So in that very first rollover simulation, you're going to see the child come out immediately, and then after a while, it's going to take the adult some time to get out. You notice how the body takes some time to get thrown from the car, but it takes speed in that rollover to get that body come out. So earlier we talked about having your seatbelt on, for a child to be in the car and seatbelted, for that adult not to be seatbelted. Once the vehicle starts to roll and the body of the adult begins to sway back and forth before it gets thrown, pieces of that adult, because we are made of bone, your head, elbows, knees, anything that's going to fly around on the inside of that car, that's going to act as almost projectiles hitting that child in the head, neck, whatever it may be. So even though the child doesn't get ejected in that second scenario, you'll see how the body of the driver gets to moving about the cabin before it gets thrown. You see the leg come out, the arm come out. All those pieces of the body are hitting that child, infant child, 2 years, 3 years old, and they're getting hit with that kind of force from an adult. That could really injure that child in the midst of that particular rollover crash. Finally, we wanted to end on a high note. Everybody's got a seatbelt on. You'll notice that no matter how many times that truck or vehicle rolls, the bodies stay where they need to be. I'm not going to say that you're going to survive every single time that you get into a rollover crash, but what I am saying is you can minimize the injuries that you take during a rollover crash or during a crash period, and your survival rate will go up.